And I knew I wasn't going to fail. Trust me, I told myself there's no way. So you need courage too. I must be frank with you. The exams are not straightforward questions that you're going to see them and feel like, oh, this one, I answered it correctly. You need to think. Most of them, you need to apply critical thinking.
Yeah.
So when you are done, you can't tell whether you passed or you failed. But I told myself, no more, I'm going to pass this exam. So when I came out, I was just waiting for the few hours to do the quick results check. I did that after 2 hours, and I think it gave me a positive answer. Then after 48 hours, I checked to be sure I have passed. It was a great feeling. I must be frank with you to be able to pass the NCLEX exams, because I've heard about several years back in nursing school. Years ago, and I heard about NCLEX. So to be able to make it with such an ease, it was a very great moment for me. I must be frank. It's one of the greatest achievements I could say I have achieved, to be able to pass the NCLEX at ease.
Yeah.
And I was able to have a United States of America State Board of Nursing registered nursing license.
Passing NCLEX is a big deal. It's a very, very big deal, especially if it's your one time. You take it once and you passed it. I know people who have taken it about 4 or 5 times and they couldn't pass it and they gave up. By the way, he mentioned UWorld. UWorld is an online learning app that you buy. They have 30 days, 60 days where you have a lot of questions and the rationales. So you use that to practice. He mentioned ATT. It's basically attestation to test. That's the go ahead they give you to register to take the test with Pearson VU. And as he said, you can write it everywhere. And the test is a computerized test. You go to a center with computers, headphones, you're in a glass booth yourself, answering your questions, clicking. The computer shuts down. You go, by the next 48 hours, the official results should be out. So there are so many learning materials. Some are books, sounders. I'll put the names below for you. Some Kaplan, ATI, UWorld. Most people have used UWorld. Personally, I used UWorld and it was very helpful. So just read about what it takes to be a nurse in the US, the preparation process, all that the exam entails, and if you want to relocate, what you need to do to relocate. So I have another question for you, Bright. So after you took the boards and you passed, what was the next step for you? Finding a job, was it easy? How did you go about that?
Yeah, because of the COVID, I was home for some time. I have a problem with putting on those heavy masks. Yeah. So I was just considering waiting to work later, because I can't put on 2 or 3 masks. You know, I know that was what a lot of people were doing in New York. They put on the N95 and other masks on, and I can't do that because I tend to have fainting attack. So I waited a little, then I decided to move to Massachusetts. So I moved to Massachusetts, and I found this agency that I work with as a travel nurse currently, because they were in high demand. Usually the agencies will want some experience, but because of my background experience from Ghana, I had about 10 years experience here, because I completed 2008. And so I have about 10 to 11 years experience as a nurse. So that opportunity, and when I was thrown into the world, it was a challenge though, because you have come to a new environment altogether. But thank God, we were able to acclimatize and fit into the system quickly, because we are fast learners, and this is what we want to do. So whatever it takes for us to be able to do it well, we did it. We are currently working. That's what we thank for. So getting the job wasn't a problem. I delayed a little because of that, and moving from one state to another, I have to go through that process of transfer. But all too good. I've been working for some time now. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So when it comes to the practice, what are some of the challenges, the difference in nursing practice in America so far you've seen, and back in Ghana? Any challenges or any difference?
The, the challenge, the challenges are there, you know, of course.
When you compare what you used to do back home to what is being done here with the equipment and timing and everything, you're gonna have cultural shock. You need to be able to fit in, because Ghana, we do our 3 shifts, right? But here most people do 2 shifts, then some few shifts. And Ghana, if it's, you could be doing morning today, tomorrow you're going afternoon, tomorrow night. This here, basically you could sign up for a morning shift, an afternoon shift, or a night shift. Yeah, unless there's a vacancy, then you could request that, oh, okay, move me from morning to afternoon. That is another thing. Then the job environment was challenged, because sometimes things that we, you know, because of our British speak English, but Americans find it difficult to understand it sometimes when we speak. So sentence to be able to make them understand what you're talking about. The pronunciations too are a challenge. An American will say an antibiotic, but we say antibiotic. You know, these are all things that I needed to work on. But gradually we're catching up. And it's a nice experience though. I feel confident of myself as a nurse. Trust me. I think during my preparation to take the nursing exams, I felt I've studied a lot as a nurse, and I was so proud of myself, you know. And I'm proud to say I'm a nurse. Yeah, I'm proud to say I'm a nurse. So America, preparing to be a nurse will challenge you a lot, and when you are done and you have your nursing license, you feel good. You feel good. But when you get to the working environment, trust me, you get it. Everybody, and we have individuality of man. Just there are different ways people adapt or acclimatize to their environment. So, you know me, I'm the social type. I will talk to you even if you don't want to talk to me. So.
I know change is something that is difficult for most people. Somebody goes like, I've been working for these years, I'm now a PNO. Why should I leave Ghana and come and start afresh? Here the ranks you start from registered nurse 1, 2, or 3 based on where you are working and who is hiring you. Do you think it's worth it? Because I know you were a general nurse and you went to do anesthesiology, and now you are coming to start afresh, I should say. Do you think it's worth it coming here to start afresh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, trust me. It's worth it. The knowledge I acquired even to prepare for the exams alone, I must be frank with you, is worth it. The getting to work with the things you need and the incentive that comes with it is worth it. Yeah, it's worth it, trust me, because when it is 2 weeks for pay time and you check what hits your account, what has been hitting your account for years back home, you realize that there has been a drastic or a tremendous change.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I know some people will say, Ghana, I was doing well, you know, I was doing well as an anesthesiologist, but I must be frank with you, I'm happy to be a nurse, just a general nurse in the US. Yeah, and I'll get to do my anesthesia someday. So.
Okay. I'm very glad you're here to share your knowledge with us and all that you took. There are some agencies that are in Ghana now that are helping people also travel to the UK, travel to the US. But most people don't know about these agencies. I'm not going to mention some of the names, but they've been helpful to a lot of people. So you don't necessarily have to do the process by yourself.
Yeah, sure.
One of the agencies, for instance, they prepare you, you go and take the boards in India, you pass, they get a visa for you, they get a job for you, get your accommodation, a car and everything. You come here, you work for 3 years, you pay back all that they spent on you, then you are free to go.
They spend on you,
Yes.
To go,
So I think it's a good investment. no matter whether you are almost going to be a DDNS, trust me, when you're working as a registered nurse in America, the prestige, the knowledge you acquire here is
the prestige
entirely
alone.
different.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the prestige alone. When you tell somebody you're an RN, the prestige alone, come on, it's worth it.
Yes. So what do you have to do to become an anesthesiologist here? Do you have to take another board again?
Okay. Yeah, I have to go to school again. You have to, after getting your RN license, you need to practice in an acute unit, just like an acute, a critically acute unit, like emergency center. That's the ER. Yeah, not message. You need to work at the ER.
The ER.
The ER or the ICU. Yep, the ICU.
Okay. For
a minimum of 2 years. For a minimum of 2 years, then you apply to the anesthesia school you want to go to. Yeah. So in anesthesia school, you have to do 3 years of studies, which is like 36 months. Yeah, 36 months of studies. Then when you come out, they even have the DNP, that is Doctor of Nurse Practitioner in anesthesia. So you could do that, then you could have your doctorate as a Doctor of Nurse Anesthesia also. So that is possible. So then for the minimum number of years is 3 years. You do that, then you have your, but you should have a bachelor's. Yeah, bachelor's is what is the minimum, the prerequisite. So you should have your bachelor's, work for 2 years in an ICU or an ER or neonatal, NICU, or cardiac, you know, any of these critical areas, you know. Yeah, so you do 2 years or 3 years, then you are qualified to go. Then you go do the 3 years in anesthesia school. Then you take your, what is it, the state exam, the national exams. It's a national exam, so you take that then. You are granted an anesthesiology license to practice as a nurse anesthesiologist.
Okay. So you have to do the 2 years first before you go to school and take the boards.
Yep.
Okay. So in preparation of the NCLEX, how long, the whole process from beginning to you taking the boards, was it 1 year, 1.5, 2 years? How long did it take you? And how much roughly did you spend?
It was, for me, it was just a year. It was just a year because I started in June. June. Then I think I took my exams in 1st July. And it was because of the COVID. I could have taken it earlier. And it also depends on you, the person, because the whole process to get your eligibility, I think, was like June, July, August, September, October, November. I think it was like 7 months. It was 7 months for me to get that. So 7 months I could have taken when I was ready. If I was ready, I could have taken the exams. I wasn't ready then. So it was then that I started the real preparation, got all those strategies and informations I need to be able to write the exams. Then the COVID came in and I had to reschedule 2 or 3 times, you know, till July. And I took it. Wow. Yeah, so roughly it was a year. I know. So roughly a year. Within a year, if you get all that, the evaluation or the agency, the credential evaluation service need, if you get everything to them, they will be able to evaluate you. Then you can be eligible to take the exam. So within a year, you should be able to. So I always tell people, the day that you start thinking about having RN license, that's the day you need to start studying, because you can't use 3 months to do the studies, especially if you're a general nurse coming from Ghana. I must be frank with you. If you're a general nurse, forget about your doctorate or your master's or whatever you have in nurse. If you do not have time to be able to study the American books, their content, trust me, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Because there are even questions that you see, a question like, who helps in positioning? Who helps in ADLs? In Ghana, you might think you, the nurse, might do it, or the room nurse will do it. But here, it's strictly they're on aid, on licensed practical nurse. This is the least trained person in the team. Yep. Yeah, they are not licensed. They have no much training, but they are doing that. Yeah. But in Ghana, you might think, yeah, they are taking the vitals and all that. But in Ghana, you might think it's your responsibility. So if you don't get their content, it will be a tough exams for you. But if you get a content, then you do much studies and questions, you should be good to go. Yep.
Yeah. You were
But one
one
thing
of
about the agency, in using the agency, it takes a longer time. Yeah. In using the agencies, it takes a very long time. If you want to use the agency, because you have to go through all this process, study, prepare. The agency will be evaluating you to make sure that you are prepared, you are well equipped. Then when they also clear you, they could sponsor you to go to India, as you said, to go take your exams. Then when you pass, they have to come start getting you a job, applying for visa screening and all that. And that could take another year. So roughly 2 years and over to be able to come with an agency. But if you could sacrifice and go through that, it is worth it. Yep. You could go through that, it's worth it. Just that passing the exams is a problem. I know the agency has sponsored a lot of people, they couldn't pass and they just give up. Some are even being chased to pay back their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were one of the people who had it fast. It took me 1.5 years to get my process done before taking the boards. The delay came when CGFNS was doing my verifications, sending my forms back to Ghana. I think it got missing in the mail. They had to send another one back and forth. But subsequently, it's been flowing for people 6 to 7 months. And as you said, I think that's the timeline. So
yeah, I had mine.
Yes. Yeah, getting into the country is the problem. That's why most people use the agency. But if you're able to get a visa by yourself,
the country is a problem.
Yeah. If you're able to get a visa by yourself, I think you'll be good. You and I haven't celebrated ourselves well at all. Passing the NCLEX is a big deal. People go all out, throw big parties just because the exam is entirely different from what we
I know people who were very, very intelligent, who were very, very good back in nursing school, who have to retake the exams here. Most people, if you take, you see, when you take these statistics with the NCSBN, foreign nurses do not pass the exams that much. I think it's about 20 to 30% of people who write the exams who are able to pass. But even those in America, about I think 80 to 85% pass. The foreign nurses, about 20 to 30% are able to pass. And those who are able to pass very well are the Philippines, and I think a few Nigerians. Ghana is really tough for us. And I put all that on the nature of our training. Our questions are straightforward in Ghana. You could prepare for an exams and know which questions are coming and which are not coming. Yep.
The way we were taught
so that is a challenge, you know.
The style of teaching and the contents that were taught wasn't good. They'll ask you in an exam, define diabetes, signs of diabetes. Here, nobody will ask you to define diabetes. They'll give you a case scenario. You have to diagnose the patient from the case scenario. You have to diagnose the patient and see, oh, if he's having this, he's peeing a lot, he's doing this, he's always eating, then you know, oh, he might have diabetes. Then you will now decide what to do and prioritize. So it's knowing the content is different. You knowing the trick to apply to pass NCLEX is also something on its own. So you really made me remember how much work we put to pass these boards, and I'm very proud of you and proud of myself. We took it one time. As I said, people have taken it 5 times.
I think I've heard. I've helped. I think 2 people so far to be able to take the exams and pass. One had taken it 4 times before I met her. She took it. After I have passed, I organized an online classes for them. So I was doing a Zoom classes discussion with them, and I think we started that in July, and in October, one who has taken it twice had failed, passed it.
Wow.
When she met me, she passed it. Then the other lady who had taken it 4 times also passed in October ending. Yep. So 2 people who were not doing well. And I think it's all your study, how you study also could help you to pass. You need a group discussion. If you try to study in isolation, it will be tough for you. I had a mate who was also preparing by then, and I was studying with. Yeah, if you study in isolation, it will be tough for you.
Yeah.
So I inculcated that attitude, and I was doing discussions with them. And trust me, they improved tremendously. And I told them with what their level of knowledge that they've exhibited, they're going to pass. They took it and they all passed. So now I think there are few who are still preparing, and I have 3 people. I think 2 of them have taken it twice and they didn't pass. They are still trying to write a 3rd time, and I told them this 3rd time they're going to pass it. Yeah, they're going to pass.
You are very right. If you learn in isolation, it's difficult. I happen to have 3 other colleagues that were taking it. 2 of them were here in America with me, and 1 was in Ghana. And we're sharing materials across board. We're sharing UWorld, Kaplan, ATI, NSCBN. We're sharing everything we found, and it really helps. So I'm proud of you. Congratulations. We encourage other nurses to also take up the challenge. It is worth it. Whether you are a PN or you're going to be a DDNS tomorrow, come and practice nursing. It's a different ball game here. The gadgets are there, the knowledge are there. You'll be in full motion, and you'll be working, and you'll be proud of yourself. You have a rationale for everything you are doing. You are not just giving the medication. You need to know what the medication is, what it does, and why you are giving it. You are a team member. You don't just take orders from doctors and you go. You suggest things and the doctors act upon it. Yeah.
No.
So the practice is different, and I'm glad we are here. We're doing this. We're making Ghana proud. We hope to accumulate more knowledge and impact back home and help others too.
Go back home,
yeah, and help others too. Thank you for helping all the people you are helping to get their boards done. I'm very grateful. I'm sure they are also grateful. I wish you all the best in your journey to become whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
The good thing is the nursing here has other branches you can go to. You don't have to be a message nurse or bedside nurse. There are so many things: oncology, dialysis, case workers, so many things you can do.
Radiology.
You can do so many things.
Yeah, you could branch into education and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So any last words for us before you go, Bright? Any words for Ghanaians or nurses who want to come?
Yeah, I just want to tell them, if you really want to do this, never give up. It could cost you a lot, especially with money. I think in total, I spent like almost $1,000. Yeah, I spent like $1,000 to get exams done, because registration with CGNFS, registration with New York State Board of Nursing, the materials are bought, then the endorsement in Ghana and all that, the payments you need to make with the nursing council back home to get a transcript, getting them mailed here and all that. Roughly, it cost me like $1,000. Yes, you can do it if you really want to do it. You can do it. It's just that you need to study. Trust me, getting the NCLEX, getting the iron license doesn't come easily. You need to put a lot of effort. You need to sacrifice. You need to spend to be able to get it done. And once you are focused, you can always do it. If I have done it, if you have done it, anyone who want to do it can also do it.
Yeah.
So I encourage you all to come here if you want to. Come and enjoy your practice. And someday we go back home to impart the knowledge we acquire here to our young ones who are also coming into the field. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Thank you very much, Bryce, for all your time. My colleague Aaron, Happy New Year once again.
You're welcome, Prissy.
And we'll have you again on the hot seat.
Many happy returns.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm always.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.